Hello everybody, my name is Bill Hughes and this is Rambo the Wonder Dog, and we're here talking to you because, as you might imagine, we're frozen in up north of Houston and we couldn't make it, and we really wanted to go because we are like big NASA nuts and big science nuts and big space nuts, as you can see. But we have Wonder Woman, Lauren Galley there to give you all a little behind the scenes video and kind of talk about what we're doing and how we can make science fiction films right here in Houston, Texas. And she's really more than Wonder Woman. She's Iron Man and MacGyver kind of mixed together. And you'll probably find that out as you talk to her. But again, like I say, I wanted to tell you first off that I'm sorry we weren't there. We really wanted to be there, and we hope we get to see you sometime soon. But I figured I'd tell you what I was going to tell you in person right here, and also show you some of the things I was going to bring by to show you. And, you know, this is a career day about science fiction and how to make science fiction and make science fiction films. And I think the most important thing I could tell y'all is that you need to dream big. And if someone told me, how can you, or someone asked me, how would I make a science fiction film? Well, it sounds like an impossible task. But we were able to do it, and we're able to do it again and again and again because we've got people with us that have that same big dream, the same love for science fiction. And if you hear something making a grunting sound, I don't have like a herd of pigs in the room. Please remember, I have pugs. Oh, and you know what? You know what's really cool? He wears a diaper because he pee-pees on everything in the house. But the diaper is actually held on with Velcro. And where do you get Velcro? Well, NASA came up with Velcro. So I thank NASA and all their engineers for generating a safe indoor pug. Anyway, as you can see, these are some of the props that we use in our films. You don't pay attention to this guy. He's a prop from another film that we don't have the license to. But this is our robot Jinky right here. And as you can see, I was a fan of big robots and things like that from when I was a kid. In fact, sorry about all the dog hair, my favorite shows growing up were Star Trek, Lost in Space, and eventually Star Wars when I got a little older. And one of the things I wanted to do more than anything in the world as a kid is to be involved with those series. As you've seen from the other video, I was a person who got a chance to be on a Star Trek series, at least in the background, and that was answer to one of my dreams and prayers, actually. You know, I also was able to build this guy, which was one of the characters I really liked. That's right, I built this guy. He was one of the characters on the Lost in Space show that I really liked. And I also got to be a Star Wars artist. Did a lot of books for Star Wars, did a lot of comic books, a lot of coffee table books, art design, things like that. So 3 of my personal dreams came true because I believed in them. And I'm also a big fan or a big believer in miracles, so I think a miracle or two happened there. But the other thing is, I put that in my goals, and that was my dream to do. And you have to remember, when I started out, there weren't any cell phones, there weren't any video cameras there weren't any video cameras at all, actually. I started making films when I was about your age, using Super 8 millimeter cameras. I bought one at a pawn shop, actually, for I think about $20, which was a lot of money back then. And you only got 3 minutes of film. You had to get the film developed, and it didn't have any sound. But I made 30, 40-minute films, and you had to play a little tape recorder next to it so you get the sound all kind of synced up. But I'll tell you something, y'all have got a lot more access to media than I ever dreamed about. If you've got a cell phone, or you've got an iPad or something like that, you've got more of a camera than I ever had growing up. You could make movies all day with those things. And nowadays, HD cameras are affordable. Those things, this is what we shot Matt Mercury on, and those were cameras that I was able to purchase myself. And it's just we live in a world where the media is really accessible, and the thing is, you have to make your mind up. Do you want to just do kind of social media and have fun with that? Or do you have a story you want to tell? And if you have stories you want to tell, and you want to take people to places that you've never been before, then science fiction's a real great place to start. A lot of science fiction is basically fantasy, um, and nowadays, yeah, science fiction is almost science fact as quick as you make it because technology's moving so fast. But pardon me, my dog is licking the floor. Quit licking the floor, Rambo. Actually, I'm going to put Rambo out of the room real quick because he gets nervous when I talk about space stuff. I keep telling him I'm not going to send him into space, but he doesn't believe me. Speaking of sending people into space, we decided to make Matt Mercury the way they used to make science fiction films, the way I liked it when I was growing up. And we actually built models for all of our spaceships and things like that. We could have used CGI, computer generated imagery, but to keep the look and feel of the shows that I liked in the 70s and 60s, we built actual models. Here's another one. This is a space station we built. And we built ray guns. These things, these are actual casts of the original ray guns we had. These will be used in the next Matt Mercury movie once we paint them all up, but we have many of them to use. The first movie we made only had two hero ray guns, and when you're using these kind of things in a set, that's real easy to drop them or break them. So we've made molds of them and casts of them, and we have multiple ray guns now. We also did our makeup very simply. This is a character that you might recognize from the film when you see the film, called Professor Brainwave, and he was just a simple pull over the head mask. The mouth of the actor, we don't know who the actor was actually, but the mouth of the actor fit through here. He could see through these goggles, and he's completely covered with talcum powder, because if you ever make anything out of latex, it disintegrates on you, so you have to put talcum powder all over it. But anyway, all of our characters were people we could get dressed up really quick and get on set really quick. And when you see some of the background things of Matt Mercury, you might think to yourself, well, how could I ever do something like that? And it really started with an idea that myself and my wife Heidi had, and then we got friends like Matt and Lauren and other people on board. And then we got Thomas and Rolls, who's the cinematographer, on board. We got a crew on board. And all those people believed in what we were doing, and they're right here in Houston, Texas, talented people. And we decided to make a film that, as you can see from some of the cuts, really rivals what a big Hollywood production would do. And it's really just focusing on taking our talents and our skills. I took a lot of years practicing to be an artist and an art director, and I put those to this film because I knew all along that's what I wanted to do. So just staying focused, keeping up with your skills, and doing it. Doesn't matter what sort of equipment you've got. Just make stories, make them good, and tell something that people really want to hear. Tell a story that entertains people, keeps them engaged, and like I say, science fiction can really do that because you can focus on things that are out there, that are in the future, that are things that maybe the way you wish they were. And so that's what filmmaking's all about. Making a career with filmmaking, well, we started out this film with hardly any money. In fact, it's all paid for by myself and Heidi. And what ended up happening was it's gotten enough interest that folks from Hollywood are now getting in touch with us, and they want to see this film and they want to get it out to an audience. So you don't have to be in Hollywood nowadays. That's the way it used to be. All films were made in Hollywood back in the old days, but now people are able to make these films high enough quality, and if they're entertaining and really a lot of fun, that's what people want, and it doesn't matter where they're made. They can be made here in Houston, Texas. They can be made in Galveston. I bet they could really be good down in Galveston. They could be made anywhere, but I think they're best made here in Texas. So go out, make a film of your own, and the next time I see you, you'll be on the big screen. Oh, Wait, I want to end with a little bit of video from our film. And I know you've seen a lot of it already, but I wanted to show you the opening titles of the movie because I got to use some of my artwork, and it kind of has a James Bondy sort of feel. So, not that it is James Bond, it's Matt Mercury.
Out on the edge of right and wrong, beyond the stars where love is lost. If you need someone to set you free, just say his name, Matt Mercury.